Hey you guys, welcome to my channel. First, I do have to say that this story will come with a trigger warning. We're going to be talking about the story of LaShawn Thompson, a man that was basically eaten alive by bed bugs while in jail awaiting his arraignment. Now, pictures have been released of Mr. Thompson and they will be showed in this video. So if that is something that you think you could find triggering and you need to skip out on this video, I completely understand, and we will see you in the next one. So guys, let's go ahead. Let's get into the story of Mr. LaShawn Thompson and the confusing questions on how this even happened. An inmate in Fulton County Jail in the state of Georgia was found dead on September 13th, 2022. His body was covered in insect bites. A family member stating that Mr. LaShawn Thompson was placed in a death chamber, not a jail cell. Lawyers for Mr. LaShawn Thompson are now calling for a post-mortem examination. LaShawn, who suffered from schizophrenia, was arrested on June 12, 2022 for a misdemeanor battery charge. He would be placed into the psychiatric wing at Fulton County Jail. Now, no exact details have come out about his arrest other than the charge itself. According to LegalMatch.com, battery can be any unlawful, offensive physical contact with another person, with or without his or her consent. The contact does not have to be violent for the crime or the battery to take place. It can merely be any offensive touching. An example of misdemeanor battery can be something like someone throwing a glass of water in your face. Now, LaShawn Thompson suffered from schizophrenia, so the possibility of him committing battery without any intent of hurting someone is quite possible, in my opinion. Like I said, all the details of his arrest are not out there yet, but I do feel like him suffering from schizophrenia could be the cause of his actions that caused his arrest, if that makes sense. Now, after LaShawn was arrested, he was held on a bond of $2,500. His sister, Shanita Thompson, said that she had no idea that her brother was even in jail, despite the fact that he was there for 3 months at the time that he passed away. She said that more than likely he could not remember any phone numbers for any family members, which is why he was not able to call and let them know where he was and that he was there. Now, if he could not remember anybody's phone number, he had no hope of contacting anybody to get them to come and post his bail. So essentially, he would have been there until his arraignment regardless, because he was someone with a mental health condition, schizophrenia. He probably could not remember numbers. Even his sister stated that. I don't know, in my opinion, I feel like someone that suffers from mental health conditions, should they just be thrown in jail and not even helped in the least little bit to contact a family member or relative to see if they can get someone to come bail them out of jail? It just doesn't really seem fair to me, but let's continue. Almost exactly 3 months to the day of his arrest, on September 13th, 2022, LaShawn's body would be discovered. When the detention officer found Mr. LaShawn Thompson unresponsive, he would not even administer CPR. Now, if you look at the photos of Mr. LaShawn, you can see the state of his body, and that's pretty telling as to why the officer did not want to get down and touch Mr. LaShawn. But I feel like they almost should have some duty to. I don't know. You guys let me your thoughts. Now, the autopsy showed no trauma. The medical examiner listed the cause of death as undetermined, but noted that Mr. LaShawn had a severe bedbug infestation. LaShawn was being housed in the psychiatric wing of the jail. The Fulton County Psych Ward has a policy that inmates in that wing should be checked on every 2 hours. Now, was that not happening? The family attorney, Michael Harper, told the media that medical records documented by jailers of the facility noted that they did see that Mr. LaShawn was deteriorating, but it seems that they did nothing to help. Civil rights and personal injury lawyer Ben Crump, who also represents the family, he said in a news conference outside the jail that the legal team would seek an independent autopsy. While at this news conference, Mr. Crump also held up enlarged photos of LaShawn Thompson post-mortem. In these photos, you see him with his eyes open, his mouth open, bugs covering his face. Mr. Crump would say that this is the most inhumane death that he has ever seen. I think I would have to say the same thing myself. LaShawn's younger brother, Brad McCray, said in a news conference that images of his brother's body covered in insects were horrific and that it broke his heart to see this, but that he wanted the world to see it so that the world could feel it and to wake up and ask for change or demand change. Mr. Crump said that LaShawn's body had over 1,000 insect bites and that insects were found in his mouth, ears, nose, and all over his body. The lawyers are calling for a criminal investigation and indicated that a lawsuit was pending. Now, following LaShawn's death, Fulton County Sheriff Patrick Labatt accepted the resignation of 3 leaders at the jail, but this was after he did ask them to step down. Sheriff Labatt also issued a statement saying that the sheriff's office acknowledged that the conditions of the Fulton County prison were deplorable and that it is past time to clean house. The family attorney, Michael Harper, says that the sheriff was aware back in September of what happened to Mr. LaShawn and the conditions of the jail, but he did nothing. He now has to wonder if the national attention on this case is what's caused the sheriff to finally take action. He does say that he appreciates any measures taken to make changes, but this should have happened already. LaShawn's death is still being investigated by the Office of Professional Standards and Atlanta Police Department. It will then be handed over to Georgia Bureau of Investigations. The sheriff's office has also launched an internal investigation as well into LaShawn's death and is reportedly addressing the sanitation and infestation problem at the facility. The Fulton County Jail has received close to $5.4 million for upgrades. It has recently spent over $500,000 on decontamination. Emergency funds will be directed twice a month towards the cleanup just in the psychiatric wing alone. Now, I'm going to continue to follow this story, you guys. I'm going to continue to keep up with it. If we hear any updates, like they are saying, there is a lawsuit coming, so I will keep up with that. If you are interested in updates in this story, please consider subscribing to the channel. Make sure you leave me all your thoughts in the comment section below. You guys, for the life of me, I can't understand how this could ever happen. This man laid in a cell for 3 months with clearly nobody checking on him regularly, or if they did, they just did not care about the life of this young man because they sat there and they let him be eaten away. I mean, it begs the question, was he being fed? If you look at before and after photos of Mr. Thompson, there's photos of him looking thick and healthy. And then when he passed away, he was so much thinner. Was he being fed? I don't know. I'm going to continue to keep up with the story. You guys leave me all your thoughts in the comment section below. Make sure you guys give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet, and I will see you guys in the next one. Goodbye, everyone.